Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biological Anthropology Laboratory 141L. This is the fall semester of 2021, and my name is Professor Mercer. I'll be teaching the course this term. Well, the first thing we want to do in getting going in this course is sort of like just step through the syllabus so we'll talk a little bit about what the course is about, how you're going to be graded, and the overall flow. Right? So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and open up the syllabus. Just go over to the syllabus tab of Canvas, maybe right click on that, bring it up in a separate window if you'd like. And I'll just like do one of these, pauses here for a second. So I'll let you go ahead and get that. Okay, so hopefully you're back with the syllabus up. Let's have a look at it, all right? So the very top of the syllabus is information on how to get a hold of me. And I think that's really important because I really want to be here as much as possible for you. So we'll discuss that. The best way to get a hold of me, I think, is through voice and text, right? So there's my number right there, 925-335-6298. I'd actually put that in your contact number because I'm available quite a bit. First, I can guarantee Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. without a problem. I carry my cell phone with me always, like everybody in society. So, if I see something, I'm going to get back to you within a few minutes. And I want to be there for you for any questions or issues that you're having with the course. Now, Monday through Friday, after 8 p.m., yeah, I'm happy to take questions or talk with you about the course material. It's just that sometimes I have all sorts of stuff going on, even because I have kids, putting to bed, doing all sorts of activities and stuff. And it's not that I don't want to get a hold of you. I may not be there to catch the ringer. And say I don't catch your phone call or whatever till 11 o'clock at night. I don't want to return your phone call at 11 o'clock at night, right? So I'll return it the next morning. But, in the evening up to about 10, I'm always pretty good too. So if you get off of work later, you're studying for an exam and you got critical stuff going on, you're welcome to try to get a hold of me. No issues. Don't feel bad about it whatsoever. Secondarily, I think that the basic, messenger that's built into Canvas is really good because only students use it and I get alerts when they come in. So I'm guaranteed I say alert as Canvas student, and that's my actual priority. Campus email is okay, but the issue is I get tons of email from, administrators and outside sources that I deal with. So I go through it one by one, answering in 10 minutes at a time. And by the time I get to, other students like yourself, it may be an hour or two before I get back with you. So it's not the fastest way. I'll always get back to you through regular campus email, but it just may take a little bit longer. Okay. All right. So other ways in which, think about it is this term. I'm going to be holding, office hours and regular updates about the course on Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, so you can join in through, Tech Connect Zoom, right? Click on that and go to and just you'll see the meeting times in there and hit on it. You're welcome to to join in as I'm discussing stuff about the course. You can use those for open office hours. Additionally, I'm going to be recording all the information, in those 1 hour per week, discussions that I'm having. So they'll be in the cloud recording section of Zoom. So if you can't make it that time, don't worry about it. The information will always be there for you. And then if you can't make it there, just let me know at any other time that I can get a hold of you. We can have our own private Zoom meetings. We can chat. We can do whatever we want to fill you in. So I really want to be able to, to please you because I know people have so many different schedules, right? So if yours is, opposite everybody else's schedule, I'll do what I can to help you and assist you. Okay, but that one's guaranteed for sure, right? And it will be in the cloud recordings. All right. So as you step through the syllabus, there's a lot of stuff. Like here we are with the communication plan. Well, this course, primarily is asynchronous. There really aren't any scheduled meeting times. I'm going to put in optional times for your show because I want you to have some sort of, contact with real-time stuff that's going on in the information, or I can point out stuff that's really pertinent and important so you can get the best, scores you can on the upcoming quizzes and assignments. Okay? Additionally, you're welcome to, speak with other students. I'm going to leave the chat function open. You have a people connect, so you can always, find other people in the course to speak with, right? And I'd like you to do that as much as possible too. You can get together in coalitions, you can study together, you can do whatever that you want. Now, additionally, I'm going to try to keep you abreast on what's happening in the course. I'll put out, 3 to 5 announcements or things about what's coming up in the material or things to sort of watch out for. All right. Next, the rest of the syllabus, at least to the middle part, is finding support and help. Particularly for those of you who are rusty or new on Canvas, there's some tutorials in there that I found that are, I think, helpful and very good in the Canvas guide, and numbers to support for Canvas support in case there's an issue. But here's the thing, is that what I think is I'm better than Canvas support. I know this platform really well. So if you're having an issue with it, why don't you give me a call first? And also, I can drive an issue through my faculty number, which will get me directly into Canvas. So if you're having an issue, I can be like the front person for it and get help faster. Okay, so utilize me as that point person. If you're having any sort of issues with Campus whatsoever, I'll be happy to do that for you. All right. The rest is about student, services that we have here, Student Live, Dreamers, Disability Support Services, and a whole wealth and gamut of things that are there to assist you. One thing I like to let you know, if you're a DSS student or have special requirements, send me a text, let me know what you need to have in the class, and I can put that in right away, even before I get the official stuff, so nothing falls through the cracks. Everyone's taken care of. I know what it's like to stress about that if you don't get the sort of, accommodations that you need. I want to make sure that you get those. All right. So let's get down towards the middle of the syllabus when we're talking about the course, right? So essentially, this course is designed to complement the lecture series. And really, it's designed to help you get a better grade in the lecture. Because the lectures are generally worth like 3 units and the lab's worth like 1. So, while the laboratory component, basically tries to give you, an approach where we can show you the methodologies of what we use, or the general practical, if we're out in the field, how do we operate in the field, right? Sort of that sort of perspective. But a reflection of that should help you. The information you get should help you actually on the lecture portions of the course for sure, and particularly in my lab classes. Particularly, I'm going to try to do everything I can so to help you get a better grade in my sort of lecture courses. Sorry. All right. So you've seen below are the student learning outcomes, which you should have for the class. I don't need to read those over. You can have a look at those yourselves. But what I think I want to discuss right now, or what everyone's sort of interested in, is what materials I'm going to need, when am I going to need them, right? And how am I going to be graded, right? So there are 3 things that you sort of need in the book, in this course, right? The first is a small paperback. That's by Robert Hayes, and it's called The Story of Earth. That one you're going to need right off the bat. We're going to start reading on that and doing some work on it, but we're going to start very slow. There's going to be a lot of exercises and stuff to hand in for the first month, right? I want to start slow in this course because then you got a lot of other stuff to do getting organized right now. So easy going, right? There's a Kindle edition. There's also a Nookbook edition out there available for you too. Now there is a recommended book, but not essential, and it's called Prehistoric Life, The Definitive History of Earth. Here's the thing, is that book is getting hard to get a hold of. If you notice it says DK Publishing, that means do-it-yourself publishing. It's an independent guy who created his own book, like 9 years ago. And it's a great little book to help you sort of understand the sequence and flow of life on Earth, which will become helpful. But here's the thing, with so much information online right now, I think pretty surely that you can utilize online resources, the stuff that's out there, without getting that book. That's just more of a direct sort of a companion. So I'm going to leave that as very optional. You can still get an A in this course very easily without that book. Okay, if you find it, great. If it's a reasonable price, great. I pick it up. If not, don't worry about it. Okay. Now, provided texts are just this. It's like I've got laboratory exercises and stuff which I prepared for you, things which we're going to do, because I don't want that you'd have to pay for those things. I'm able to work it out to where you don't have to pay for it, save you a ton of money. So the only thing you're going to need to buy in this book is The Story of Earth, right? That's the only actual required purchase text. And I think you can probably get it for 12 to 16 bucks if you haven't gotten it already. All right. So how are you going to get graded? Well, here's the thing, in a variety of different ways. I want you to have some hands-on work, some laboratory stuff that you do, as well as some, quizzes over the material, kind of break it up a little bit. The first is what we call an Earth Timeline project, and that'll be a long-term project, which we'll be doing all semester, in which you'll be utilizing something like, PowerPoint or Word, and creating a history of Earth, history of life on Earth leading up to the arrival of the glorious humans. right? And that'll be worth 60 points. So it's a good long-term project with a lot of points. And that way you can make up any points or deficiencies you may have on quizzes. If you don't test well, if you don't do quizzes well, that's where you can just hit hard on and make up all the points for your course, right? For this course. Now, as far as that is concerned, we'll be talking about that at length and how to do it. I've been working with you on it. I've got lots of PowerPoint examples of what other students have done, and a nice rubric. It should be a real creative, fun assignment for everyone. And that's the reason I have it on there. It's really a crowd pleaser. Everybody who's done it actually liked it so far, so I'm keeping it. It's a fun way to do an online class, right? Now we have lab assignments. These are going to come out of the laboratories that I have. And we're not going to be doing all of the labs, right? I mean, the complete labs. There are a lot of work. So I've picked out specific areas that I want you to do in the labs to make it manageable and doable. Those are 10 points each. There's 90 points there. And 4 quizzes at 30 points each. And they'll be at the end of each of the 4 modules, right? So together, you'll have 270 points possible, and I run the grading curve from there, right? Now, here's the thing. You're looking at the actual points you have to achieve to reach the 90 point, right, percent point to get your A, which is 243. You're 216 to get a B, 189 for a C. So, how strict I am about that? Not really, but depends. I mean, so like if you have 241 points or 242 points, am I going to deny you the A when you need to have 243? No, I'll give you an A. I mean, grading is not all as much as all instructors use a rubric. There's always a percent or two amount of error, right? So we should give it to the student. So, but if you're close to the line, I'll always bump you up a grade. Don't worry about that. Okay. In addition to that, I am going to be putting out some extra credit assignments too. There'll be a couple of 10-point extra credits that I'll throw in to help you guys out, especially if you're not doing well in the quizzes, so that you don't suffer in this course. I want everyone to do well. All right. Okay, I'm looking forward to everyone walking away with a B or an A. And if you just kind of walk away from the course and don't do anything, you're going to get a C. Don't do that. I want you guys to do well. All right. Okay. Adds and drops. Make sure you drop the class before the W period. If you have too much going on, because you don't want too many W's, withdrawals on your record. That'll hurt you if you're trying to go to a competitive school. They do count them up. I had 18 when I was a community college student. Oh my God! So of course I was not, accepted into Berkeley. I did plead my case and got into Davis, but those were in the old days. It's harder to get into those competitive schools now. So I'm advising students to try to minimize those W's. So watch that if you have to get out. Okay, all right. Of course, policies, right? Academic integrity. Yeah, don't cheat, But however, on many of the projects that you're doing and stuff that's going on, and even the labs, I like you to be collaborative, right? I like to help you guys help each other out, and I like it to be fun. Working with people is fun. It's just on quizzes, do your own work. All right, that's all I ask you to do. I think that you'll know if you know the material or not that way, right? I think it's important for you guys to do that, okay? All right. Now, as far as online class interaction goes, because we're going to do these optional Zoom sections and stuff, of course, just be, kind to each other, who answer, don't disparage one another. Just basically don't be offensive. I know you guys won't, but I actually have to throw that in there anyway. All right, so let's have a look at our schedule on what we're going to be doing and how it's going to be playing out. So module 1, again, we're going to be starting out fairly easy, right? Doing some little bit of preliminary reading so that we can try to understand the context in which humans are evolving, how scientists have gone about exploring this. So we're going to watch a few videos. The first are Why Are We Here? Life's Rocky Start. And doing a little bit of reading. And then we'll start next week by looking at the Earth Timeline Project. I'll tell you how to organize this, some of the basic information that you can use to accumulate this and how to interpret that information. Right? And we'll be talking a little bit about the readings for week 1. These are benchmark pages I want you guys to get up to. Hopefully you will. Nobody ever does, right? But you can try. If you can keep up to those levels, you're doing great. To tell you the truth, if you can get to half that reading, you're probably going to be in the average of class, all right? And as you can see, leading up to collab quiz number 1. We'll start talking about the appearance of first terrestrial animals. Where are we in that? As life begins to evolve on Earth, what sort of laboratory techniques do we have, or field techniques that help us ferret out, exactly where, the first animals began? And then as they began to diversify, who were we, in all of this schema of adaptive radiations that we see, right? And discussing how we analyze the past through the fossilization process and how we actually harvest fossils and interpret them, right? So that leads us to quiz number 1. Okay? So you can read the successive modules coming up, but I wanted you to become familiar a little bit about the flow of what's going to happen in the very, very first one, right? So from here, what I'm going to do is we're going to move to the first module. So let's go over to the dashboard. You can go over to your dashboard to your courses, and we'll bring up, our course, right? Here's our laboratory course, and click over to the module sections of them. So when you are in the first modules, you can see how things laid out and when the first quiz dates are. Okay, so right now I have module 1, everything's unlocked all the way to quiz 1. I haven't unlocked module 2 for a reason, because I don't want you guys to get too far ahead. Because when you do, it's really hard to focus on, exams. You've already completed so much material, you're on to module 3, and now you got to go back and do a quiz on module 1 when it comes up. And students tend not to do well that way. So I'm going to be releasing the modules, as they should be in sequence. So around September 11th or 12th, I'll start opening up module 2 for you. But notice that September 13th, 1 month from now, we'll have the first quiz on some very basic material which we're going to be looking at, in this course. All right. So the very first stuff we're going to be looking at are Earth timeline sort of instructions. So what I'd like you to do is look at the videos I set up for the Earth timeline instructions, right? Read, have a look at the information I have there on the page. And additionally, there'll be some Earth Timeline Project examples. And what I have those set up for by different grades, different grade students have had a grade C example, B example, and a grade A example, as well as a rubric, right? What to have including on there, but how I'm going to be assessing and look at those. Now, additionally, I have hundreds of projects that students have turned in, right? At any time you want to look at other examples, just let me know, and I'll just individually send you guys as many as that you want, to have a look into how other students have done it. And people have gotten very creative about those. But we'll discuss that more in earnest next week. All right, so that's what I wanted to do to sort of get everyone started, a basic introduction without going too long today, all right? So I'll see you guys, in the optional Zoom meetings or watch those in the cloud recordings, all right? Take care, you guys. Bye.